Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make the closing page to my road trip scrapbook collection of pages. Okay, so I'm going to use cozyup and some of the July-August mix-ins and the September stamp of the month. So I'm going to use that film strip stamp from the stamp of the month and then a couple of other images, and I'll tell you what they are when I get to them. And then I'm going to use some Cricut cuts from the You Are Here collection. And then I'm also going to use a sticker from cozyup. So the picture I'm going to scrapbook is a group picture of all of us. Of course, I was the photographer. So both dogs are in there. You can hardly see Bailey, but I did my best. And so that's the group. We stopped at a bar in the town of Kutsch and had a drink. And I snapped a quick picture. So this will be my end page for the collection of all the road trip pictures that I took. Okay, so this good times element is also a Cricut cut. And I'll put information in the description below. So I'm going to begin by doing some stamping with that film strip image from the September stamp of the month. So I've got some shortbread cardstock, and I'm going to do some treatment to it first. I'm going to use the dark side of shortbread, and first I'm going to score some lines on it. So I'm going to flip it over so that the scored, the bump is going to be up on the dark side. And I'm just doing random score lines. I'm not doing at any particular dimension. I want them to be all random. So just doing some score lines, and then I'll flip it over and I'm just going to swipe the ink pad across this strip of paper and kind of do a faux wood grain look to it. Okay, and it looks really cool once you get stamping on top of it. All right, I'm going to stamp in Mocha, and I'm going to stamp this film strip image. So I'm going to do 3 of them, and then I'll fussy cut them. So I'll show you how to extend the lines of these film strip images and make them look like they're 12 inches long. So we'll get to that when we start building the layout. So I have 3, and then I'm going to flip over to the light side of shortbread, and I'm going to stamp this image. It's from a retired set that is called Adventure Badges, and I'm going to stamp this out in pine ink, and then I'm going to die cut it with one of the circle thin cuts. Okay, so I'll do that off camera, and I'll start the fussy cutting here, but I'll finish it off camera as well. Okay, so this is the basic layout, and this is how you make those film strips look like they're extending through and they're longer. So I'm just cutting that one in half and tucking it under. Okay, so this is the basic layout. Now I'm going to bring this sticker in. Okay, so I wanted an element that read Good Friends, and so what I'm going to do is cut the good off of this sticker, and then I'm going to cut Friends off the other end and make that my Good Friends sticker. Okay, now I'm going to create a journal box, and I'm going to use this stamp that is from Lovin Right Now, and I'm going to stamp that out in Mocha. And the paper that I'm using is from the July-August mix-in collection. Okay, and then there's another stamp that's part of that same Lovin Right Now collection that says Group Shot, and I wanted it to be above my journal box, but I stamped it too far to the right, so I'm going to do it over again so that I have room. Because instead of stamping right directly on my layout, I'm going to put it on the journal box and then fussy cut around. Well, not fussy cut, but use my trimmer to cut all the way around. Okay, so now I have room, and I'm going to use pine ink to stamp group shot. And then I'm just going to stamp right above my journal box. Okay, and then I'll bring my trimmer in and just trim around that whole entire image. So it makes it a little bit easier than trying to stamp directly to your layout. And I wanted that image, that group shot, to be on that lighter color rather than toffee. Okay. So we'll trim all the way around this, and then off camera, I'll do my journaling. All right. So I think this is going to be the basic design of my layout here. Okay. So we will start adhering, and I'll speed things up pretty fast. You'll see how it all comes together. So I'll start by assembling this Cricut cut. And just using glue. I like to use wet glue with a lot of these cuts because then you have a second to kind of shift things if you need to. And then I'll put down that photo on honey butter. I'm going to pop that with some foam tape. So the base for my layout is toffee, and then the overlay is in the cozyup pattern paper, and then underneath that is paprika. So I'll go ahead and glue this down. And again, I like to use the wet glue so that I can shift it before it actually starts to adhere. So I have a second to make sure it's exactly where I want it. And then I'll go ahead and attach that whole thing to the piece of toffee cardstock. Okay, and then I'm going to lay out these film strip pieces, kind of figure out where my photo is going to go, and then I'll glue those down. So I'm just going to take the one piece and kind of extend it at the same angle. And then the other one, I'll do the same thing. And then I'll place that photo over it. Okay. And then since my photo is popped, I'm putting a piece of foam tape on half of that Good Times Cricut cut and then some adhesive on the other side so that it's at the same level. And then I'll put my sticker down, kind of tuck it just a little bit under that Cricut cut. Okay, so my journal spot is on some lightweight pattern paper, so I want it to be stronger. So I cut 2 pieces of white cardstock and I'm going to layer them. And then I'll put my journal spot on top of it, and then I'll pop the whole thing. So again, part of it is overlapping the photo. So I've got foam tape on part of it and adhesive on the other. So it'll all be on the same level. And then I'll tuck that compass image kind of under both. Okay, so we'll cut that down. Now I'm going to bring in some of the Cozy Up dots, and I'm going to use some of these paprika dots, and they're sparkly. So I'm going to scatter a whole bunch of them around all over. And it comes in 3 sizes. So I'll have those scattered everywhere. And then I still felt like I wanted something else. So I'm going to bring in these cork images from the Autumn Gnomes collection. And it has a bunch of maple leaves cut in a couple of sizes. And they sort of mimic the falling leaves that's on that paper that I cut the word Colorado from. And they're self-adhesive. So I'll go ahead and adhere a whole bunch of those all around too. And then off camera, I'm going to color in those stars on the journal block using a rosemary shimmer brush. And then I'll have some close-up shots at the end. So we'll get all these leaves adhered, sort of falling. And then we'll call it done. So I'll make a list of all the supplies that I used with links in the description below. Most of them are still available, and you can do a little shopping. And I'll have some close-up shots here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. I publish twice a week, one scrapbook layout and one card making video per week. And thanks for watching.